All right, so it's so nice to meet you, Nadia Comaneci. Let's start off by you telling me a little bit of background information about you.
Well, I was born on November 12, 1961 in Baku County, Romania, in the historical region of Western Moldavia. My mother is Stefania and my father is Jorge Comanici. I have a younger brother, Adrian.
What was the age when you started to take an interest in gymnastics?
When I was in kindergarten, my mother enrolled me into a gymnastics class because I was so active and full of energy that I was difficult to manage. I was with a local team called the Flame with coaches Duncan and Montanu.
When did you start training with the Colores?
At the age of 6 years old, I was chosen to attend his experimental gymnastics school after he spotted my friend and I turning cartwheels in a schoolyard. I started training with him at the age of 7 years old in 1968. I was one of the first students at the gymnastics school established in my hometown by Bela and his wife Marta.
Tell me about your first international competition. When was this and how did it go?
It took place in 1971. I became the youngest gymnast ever to win the Romanian Nationals. This competition was a dual junior meet between Romania and Yugoslavia. I won the first all-around title, contributing to the team gold.
What country did you represent during the Olympic Games?
I represented my homeland, Romania.
Tell me about the 1976 Summer Olympics. How did you do and how many medals did you win?
I was awarded the first perfect 10 in gymnastics for my routine on the uneven bars. I won 3 gold medals and attained 6 more perfect 10s.
Tell me about what happened with your scoring in the Olympics.
Omega SA, the traditional Olympic scoreboard manufacturer, was led to believe that it was impossible to receive a perfect 10. So the scoreboard was not programmed to display that score.
I know you competed in the 1978 World Championships. Tell me what happened at this competition.
I was 7 inches taller and a stone and a half heavier than I was in the 1976 Olympics. I had a fall from the uneven bars, and this resulted in a 4th place finish in the all-around. But I did win the world title on the beam and a silver on vault.
Didn't you have an injury during the 1979 Olympics? Tell me about your injury and how did this occur?
Yes, I did. I was hospitalized before the optional portion of the team competition for blood poisoning caused by a cut in my wrist from my metal grip buckle.
Did this affect your competition and performance?
No, I was not going to let this stop me. Against doctor's orders, I left the hospital and competed on the beam, where I scored a 9.95. My performance helped the Romanians get their first team gold medal. After the performance, I did spend several days recovering and underwent a minor surgical procedure for the infected hand, which had developed an abscess.
It is my understanding that you attended the 1980 Summer Olympics and the 1984 Summer Olympics. Tell me what happened during the 1980 Olympics.
During this Olympics, the Romanian government touted the 1980 Olympic Games as the first all-communist games. I can strongly remember when I entered Moscow thinking to myself, we are walking into the mouth of a lion's den. This was the Russians' home turf.
It was my understanding that big, exciting things happened in 1981. Tell me about them.
The Gymnastics Federation informed me that I would be part of an official tour of the United States, named Nadia 81, and my coaches, Bela and Marta Caroli, were to lead the group. During this tour, my team shared a bus with the American gymnast, which is where I met Bart Connor, whom is now my husband.
Tell me about what happened at the end of the tour in the United States.
On the last day of the tour, my coaches, Bela and Marta, defected. Prior to them defecting, Bela hinted a few times to me that he might attempt to do so, and indirectly asked if I wanted to join him. At that time, I had no interest in doing so and told him that I wanted to go home to Romania.
How did this affect you when you returned to Romania?
The officials feared that I would do the same and defect, so my actions were strictly monitored. I was also banned from traveling outside of Romania.
When did you start to think about retiring from gymnastics?
Like I stated, the government prevented me from leaving Romania. I then started to think about my retirement. My official retirement ceremony took place in Bucharest in 1984.
Tell me about when you decided it was time for you to defeat Romania.
I eventually changed my mind on the subject after I met Constantine Pinit at a party. He was a Romanian who was already an American citizen after defecting. From this moment out, I began a very long period of planning my escape.
Tell me about your journey to the United States and what happened once you arrived.
Our journey was very dangerous. We mostly traveled by foot, and at night we went through Hungary, Austria, and then we finally made it to the United States in 1989. After arriving, Constantine told me that I was going to live with his wife and children for a bit. I never questioned him.
After all of this, you are now a U.S. citizen, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm actually a dual citizen of both Romania and the United States, but I became a U.S. citizen on June 14, 2001.
I heard you appeared in a commercial for the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens. How was this?
Yes, I did. One of my perfect 10 Montreal uneven bar routines was featured in a commercial for Adidas.
You attended the 50th Independence Day Nationalization Ceremony on July 4, 2012, didn't you? Tell me about it.
Yes, I did attend this event. I was actually the very first athlete to speak in the history of this ceremony.
That is such an honor. I know you were also named after a park. Where is this?
In the Olympic Park in Montreal, Canada.
Well, thank you for meeting with me today, Nadia.
Thank you.